Today we're going to make the most amazing but simple mac and cheese, and I am going to serve it with some pulled pork and some onion rings. The pulled pork is going to be pre-prepared, but I'm going to have bought that, I'm not going to make it. But the mac and cheese and the onion rings we're going to make from scratch. So the first thing you need to do is to boil your pasta. So this is 7 ounces or just over 200 grams of, as you can see, dried elbow shapes, they call them here in the US, macaroni shapes. And you want to boil those according to your manufacturer's instructions. So mine says to boil for 9 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. When your pasta is cooked according to the instructions, mine's had the allotted 8 or 9 minutes. You want to take this and you want to drain it, rinse it in some cold water, and then you can set it aside. So I'm rinsing this twice. The reason that we're rinsing it is so that any starches that are in there don't make the pasta stick together. So once the pasta is rinsed, as I say, you can set that aside, but don't discard your pan yet, because we're going to need that in a couple of minutes. So while your pasta is cooling and we're getting ready to make the mac and cheese, we can look at what other ingredients we need. We need a cheddar cheese. I'm using a white cheddar. Yellow cheddar will work just as fine, but your mac and cheese will look yellow, orange colour obviously. And you need 4 ounces, which is just a little bit over 100 grams. You also need some grated Parmesan cheese, again 4 ounces, which is just a little bit over 100 grams. You then need some flour. This is going to thicken the sauce, and you can use a sauce flour. I'm just using all-purpose flour, and I've got 3 ounces, which is 75 grams in here. And then you need 1.5 pints of whole milk, and that's 900 ml. So now my pasta is drained, I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to take the pan that I used, and I've got a wooden spoon ready, and I am going to put my flour directly into the pan, and I am going to pour just a little bit of that milk in there, not all of it, just to get the flour going. If you put all the milk in at once, it'll go lumpy, and then you'll end up with a lumpy sauce, which is not what we want. But if you take your time, just put a little bit in there. There you go. You can see that that's gone smooth. We can then add a little bit more of the milk. And then once we've got it going like that, I'm going to add it all. And then we need 50 grams, which is 2 ounces of butter. I'll just pop that in, and we're going to put that onto the heat, over a medium heat, and we're going to bring this to the boil, and it will thicken, and we'll end up with a nice thick creamy buttery sauce ready for our mac and cheese. I recommend you keep stirring it until it comes to the boil. So when your sauce has come to the boil and it's thickened like this, you want to transfer it to a large casserole pot. I'm using a cast iron skillet, but I think it looks a little bit nicer when you serve it, and your cast iron holds the heat as well. And then we're going to add 3/4 of the cheese and 3/4 of the Parmesan. Then we add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard and a good seasoning, so plenty of salt and plenty of pepper. Give our pasta a shake. Add that, and using the spoon we got, give it a mix. Take your time here, make sure it's well combined. Obviously we want to make sure that that Dijon mustard has broken up. Don't want to be giving someone a surprise when they eat it. There we go, I think that's pretty well combined. I'm keeping my eye open for that mustard. I don't see it. I think it's well combined. I think all the cheeses are combined. And the macaroni has all been separated and has all got coated. So what I like to do next is just take a little spoon. I just want to taste that sauce. I think it needs a bit more salt. While we're at it, a little bit more pepper. You then take the remainder of the cheese and you carefully distribute that onto the top. So this is now ready to cook, and if you are going to cook this straight away, you want to put this under a grill or broil it, as we call it in the States, and you want to broil it for around about 10 to 15 minutes, but keep your eye on it because you want to make sure you don't want to burn it, but you want to get some caramelization, some colour on the top, and the cheese will be bubbling obviously, and we want to get some colour change, but we certainly don't want to burn it. But if you're not going to cook it straight away, like I'm not, I mean it's 12 o'clock now, I'm not going to be putting this in the oven until around about 6 o'clock tonight. But the beauty of this recipe is that you can prepare it ahead of time, so when your guests come, you're not slaving over the stove and panicking. You can make it ahead of time. So I'm just going to cover it with some cling film, and then when I'm ready to cook tonight, I'm going to put it into a preheated oven, 350 Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius, for around about 20 to 25 minutes. That will warm the dish through. I'm then going to finish it off under a grill, under a broiler for around about 5 to 10 minutes. That just puts that colour onto the top, but we'll see that when we cook it. When you're ready to cook your macaroni and cheese, as I said earlier, you've had two options. You could have put this straight under the grill and broiled it or grilled it for around about 15 minutes until it all turned brown and bubbly on the top, started to turn brown. Or you could do what I've done and you could make it ahead of time, and then you're not rushing when your guests are going to arrive, which is what I'm going to do now. So I've put my oven on at 350 Fahrenheit, which is 180 Celsius, and I'm going to give this round about 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes in the oven, and that's going to heat it through. I will then turn the oven from an oven mode to the broil mode. So that's our mac and cheese in the oven.